go! Go the Cowboys! Woo!
Hey guys, Sean Media just want to do a big shout out to Rugby League Coffee Lounge. All the best this year, 2020.
Alright, oh, yeah! Fuck! Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Thursday Night Football Review featuring TJC Sports. Thursday Night Footy Review, Melbourne Storm 28, Sydney Roosters 8. TJC is here once again for the Thursday Night Football Review. TJC, this game tonight, we thought it was going to be close, but it was the complete opposite.
Oh, mate, the last few seasons, this game's been bloody brilliant. I was expecting one of the best freaking reactions ever when I was reacting to this game, but like, it was just disappointing, man. Storm by far almost the entire game were the better side, and Roosters just nothing went their way today.
The only thing the Roosters did good was the start. That was it.
Mate, they started well, but they just couldn't do the rest of the game, man. It was absolutely
exactly right.
shit. It was absolute shit for a lot of it for them.
Exactly right. Well, before we get into the Thursday Night Football Review between the Storm and the Roosters, I want to say hello to the live chat. We've got a bit of a crowd starting to build up here now.
Yeah,
just looking good.
That.
Hello to CJ Moxley in the chat. Hello to Minty Rabideau, Devils_Psy, Josh Rabideau's 2023, SS Storm fan. We got Nick Renison all the way up there in Gunnellabar. Luke Melbourne Storm fan. Hello, everyone that's tuning in to the review. SS Storm fan. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well for your Friday night, or Thursday night, I should say. And we've got Rishi as well, all the way from the UK. Hello, everyone that's here. If you're new, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel of TJC Sports. I believe the link is in the description box down below. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Thursday Night Football Review as well. All right. Not a lot to talk about tonight just because it was so one-way traffic. Melbourne Storm 28, Sydney Roosters 8. TJC, how surprised were you with this result?
Fuck, mate. I was probably as surprised you can get, dude. I went into this one going, oh, it's going to be tight. It may even be like a 1 point difference or something. I really thought that the Roosters would have put up a fight, especially with how they played versus Para last week. I expected a good game from them. The fact is the Storm really excelled even what anyone expected them today. They showed up, but the Roosters, they underachieved what we expected of them. It's just unfortunate, man, that we couldn't get as good of a game as we expected.
Yeah, look, it's disappointing that we didn't get a high-quality match between two sides that I think are going to be in the top 8 come season's end. You know, once we get to the finals, these sides could clash. But, no, it was disappointing tonight. I am disappointed with the game. I thought it was going to be a great game. I picked Melbourne by 2 in my tips. During the day, I was having a look at the team list, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, this game could be golden point tonight, but instead, Cameron Munster, Nick Meaney, Xavier Coates, Christian Welsh, they all stood up and had a big game. And the Roosters, without Tedesco, looked very lost.
Oh, absolutely, mate. It was the Roosters. They showed how much they missed Tedesco tonight and how crucial he is to their team, dude. That was. Look, we keep repeating it, and we'll keep repeating it throughout this review, but it was just a very disappointing result from the Roosters.
Yeah,
they really missed
very
Teddy.
Disappointing. Well, losing Tedesco didn't help them. The Roosters' style of football and the way they tried to attack tonight was pretty poor. They kept playing sideways. They didn't really want to go for the middle, and every time they did, they were getting dragged back. The only fourth of the Roosters that I thought really had a go was Jared Maria Hargraves. He seemed to just rip in and have a go.
Like he always
When
does.
the Roosters were under the pump, under pressure, they kick the ball downfield, trying to trap Melbourne inside their own half, and the Roosters are looking for a big shot of momentum. Hargraves is the only one that tried to do it. Everyone else was like, they didn't have energy. Collins was gassed. Radley was all over the place tonight. The Butcher brothers couldn't really get involved, and Fletcher Baker, probably the other one I would give a mention to with Hargraves, but everyone else just looked all over the place.
Oh, no, absolutely. They were all over the place, man, tonight. Jared Rio-Hargreaves is probably one of the main ones where I'd say he actually went all out. He properly played today, but unfortunately the rest of his team didn't really seem to do that. They were almost allergic to going down the middle, man.
Yeah, it seemed like it, didn't it? It was weird. It was very weird. All right, well, let's go through the tries. Now, the first 10 minutes of this game was fairly back and forth, and then there was a beautiful cutout ball from Sam Walker over to Jackson Polo for the first try of the game. Pretty easy try there. Jackson Polo, very good start for him in this one, scoring the first try of the game.
Oh, he's been a real shock. Like, he's been one of the surprise signings this year. I don't think, look, maybe you could have tipped him to be a good signing for the Roosters, but he's been brilliant for them. He's in terrific form. Whether it's just a good start or not, who knows? But, like, even tonight, he did all right. The problem is that, look, none of the Roosters did what I think to the level that they know they can be.
Yeah. So Jackson Polo scores the first try of the game. Roosters go 6-0 in front after a couple of minutes. 6-0 after 12 minutes or so. And then 17th minute of the game, bro, Xavier Coates in the corner. He had a big game tonight, Xavier Coates. He scored for the Storm, and it was game on.
Oh, no, absolutely. When Xavier Coates scored, I thought, game on. We're going to get a tight one here. It's going to be, mate, it was back and forth, back and forth. When they got the comeback try, I was like, oh, Storm with the momentum now. Let's see what they can do with it. And I'll tell you now, they did a lot more with it than I expected.
Yeah, Xavier Coates goes over in the corner, and we'll level up at 6 apiece. And now, this next one, TJC, I want your take on this. So, right. The Roosters kicked off, and Jerome Hughes deliberately taps the ball forward to try and keep it in play.
Yeah.
The referee deems it as a penalty to the Roosters because of a deliberate forward pass. Now, the deliberate forward pass is the right decision, but the only problem is Jerome Hughes was already over the dead ball line, out of play. His foot was already out. It should have been a goal line dropout, not a penalty.
Oh, no. The thing is that he was already out. So I do agree with you, mate, that it probably should have just been a penalty. I get what the ref was thinking. I think we can all understand what he was thinking, but
dropout. It should have been a dropout.
Yeah, it should have been a dropout. At the end of the day, we're lucky that it didn't really impact the game much at all from the looks of it.
Yeah, I was a bit worried it would, I was a bit worried.
Yeah, no, we're lucky that it didn't, but if it had, I was very worried it would, mate. And I was going to go, if those 2 points decide it all, there's going to be some furious fans.
Yeah. Because I was watching it and I'm like, hang on. Okay. Deliberate forward pass. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The referee remembers that rule. But he was already out of play. Like, it should have been a dropout.
His boot was on the out bit. He should have been, it really should have been a dropout. I remember watching it and I was just, me and the chat, we were so confused. It was like, what's happening right now? What's going through their head?
So the Roosters get a penalty right in front off the kickoff, which was one of the weirdest ways to get points I think I've ever seen. So Sam Walker takes the 2. Roosters go up 8-6. And then not long later, bro, 27th minute of the game, Melbourne only attacked down the left-hand side. Munster gave it on to Coates, and Coates did not score in the corner. He knocked the ball on. But Victor Radley, late hit in the line on Munster. Radley, brain explosion. He has a habit of these. He needs to get it out of his game. Radley just lost his cool there. I don't know what he was thinking.
Look, Radley has that moment every season. Let's face it. I feel like it's kind of it's very predictable at this point that at some point Radley will do it throughout the year. But it's unfortunate it had to be in a game like this. I definitely think they missed him when he was off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, Victor Radley getting sin binned cost the Roosters dearly. They were leading 8-6, and then after that, this is where the Roosters fell off a cliff. And in my opinion, Victor Radley getting binned was the game changer because the Roosters weren't the same when he got binned. Not long later, Nick Meaney scores a try of a nice little Munster kick. Nick Meaney catching the ball in the air over Joseph Suaalii. That's impressive from Nick Meaney.
Oh, mate, Nick Meaney had a stellar game today, and that play was absolutely brilliant. I was screaming the praise of freaking Meaney for the next 50, 60 minutes of game after. I was absolutely... It was a brilliant take from him, and he did a few of those today, that try in particular being the best one.
Without a doubt. So Melbourne go 12-8 in front, and then about 4 or 5 minutes later, Melbourne go down the left-hand side. Munster, Meaney, and Coates link up, and I think Coates gives it back inside the Munster. Munster scores under the post. That try from Munster, I think it rocked the Roosters.
Oh, mate, the impact, you can't even put into words the impact that try had on the game. The fact that, look, I actually think it was a beauty of a pass from Meaney before to get it to Munster, but once Munster was away, he was away, and it was an absolutely... Look, Munster, man, what a game Munster had, by the way. Good, that try was it was just brilliant, the way that the Storm linked up there.
Yep. So Melbourne go up 18-8. We get to half-time. Melbourne lead 18-8. And I thought to myself, all right, Victor Radley has a lot to make up for. He needs to try and help the Roosters get back in this game. He needs to cool down and get his shit together. And unfortunately, the Roosters didn't start the game well in the second half. There was a try. Again, Xavier Coates. I think it was a crossfield kick from Munster. And Polo and Walker just let it bounce. It's like it was miscommunication. And Coates just picked it up and grabbed it and scored again.
Oh, look, there's no way that the Storm expected it to bounce how it bounced. There was definitely a bit of luck to that try, but the miscommunication from the Roosters dearly cost them there. And Xavier Coates, good on him, right? That good on him for having the instinct to reach out and grab it there.
Yeah, so Melbourne go to 22-8 in front. And then, unbelievable, Melbourne go down the left-hand side. Now, this was a controversial try. Justin Olam puts in a drop kick or whatever the hell you want to call it, a grubber kick. Xavier Coates just grounds the ball. At first, I thought he dropped it. But then I was like, okay, Coates has got it down. That's a try. But Olam, I don't know if you saw this, TJC Sports, but Olam, I don't believe that was a kick. It was. I think he knocked it on first, then he kicked it.
Oh, fuck. Mate, I was so confused by that play. The thing is that they ruled it as a kick at the end of the day. They ruled it as a kick. Now, maybe he knocked it on. I couldn't see it too well. I saw it once. It's I look up for 1 second and then don't see a big play. But look,
when the review's over, bro, go on to YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and just watch that last try because I'm telling you, Olam dropped that. He didn't kick that. That was a knock on. He definitely dropped it.
Oh, fuck yeah. He dropped that on, bro. I just went on to Facebook.
There's no way. I am not convinced.
Oh, no, he knocked that on, bro. He by far knocked that on. Fuck.
Are you watching it now?
Yeah, I just watched it.
Knock on, eh?
Yeah, mate, that is a knock on. Far out. I didn't notice it live.
Shouldn't have been a try.
Nah, shouldn't have been. But look, unfortunately, it probably didn't make much of a difference. There were probably some poor calls. There were some calls that were disagreeable today, but the point difference really shows you that it didn't impact too much, unfortunately.
Exactly right. So Melbourne go 26-8 in front, and then I think it was the 62nd minute or something. Collins hit Jerome Hughes in the air, I think it was, and it was a penalty to Melbourne. Munster took the penalty goal, 28-8. Roosters are struggling to get out of their own end. They could not get out at all. They could barely get over halfway, and every time they did, they'd throw a cutout ball over the sideline where Tupou couldn't get it, or they would knock the ball on. A really, really poor night from the Roosters.
Oh, look, it was just a very poor night, man. Look, as a neutral, you want to see a close game between two such recently successful teams. There's some of the most consistent teams in recent history, these two. And look, we really wanted like a golden point sort of game out of this, but we got what we got. Good on the Storm. Good on the Storm.
I just want to go to live chat for a moment. We've got someone who's very upset here named Stephen. Shut up. He told me to shut up. That's a try combination from our countryman from PNG. Bro, Stephen, open your fucking eyes, mate. Olam clearly knocked the ball on. The referee gave it a try, but if you go back and watch the replay, he knocked the ball on. And don't tell me to shut up, buddy. You shut your mouth. Don't fucking tell me to shut up. I'll put you in your place real quick.
Mate, rugby league rivalry.
It's just our opinion at the end of the day. No need to be telling us to shut up. We're the ones doing the review. We're the YouTubers out here. We're the content creators. If you don't like what you see, don't watch it. Simple as that.
There's plenty of options throughout the content create.
There's a lot of downgraded fucking content creators out there. There's a lot of failure content creators that are just losers and wankers. But don't fucking come into my live show and tell me to shut up. Shut the fuck up, Stephen. No need. Not going to cop that crap. Anyway, so we get the full time, mate, and the Storm win the game 28-8. And the Storm's completion rate tonight, bro, obviously in Melbourne it was a bit wet. It was cold weather down there. Melbourne were 39 from 46. 84% completion rate. That's outstanding in those conditions.
In those conditions, Melbourne were fucking brilliant, man. That was absolutely brilliant. Like that entire game, even if you weren't impressed with on the eye, which why wouldn't you be impressed with how they were on the eye? That their stats are absolutely exceptional for this game.
Yeah, and the Roosters' completion rate was terrible. They were 61% tonight, 21 from 34. Not a good completions rate from the Roosters. Melbourne did have 12 more sets than the Roosters, but that's the Roosters' fault. They kept dropping the ball. Their completion rate was terrible. And at the end of the day, if you're going to complete at 61% against Melbourne in the wet, you're going to get your ass kicked most of the time.
100%, mate. Mate. If you're going to complete like that in that weather, the last team, besides maybe the Panthers that you want to do it against, is the Melbourne Storm, dude. That was...
Yeah. How many errors did the Roosters make? I'm going to find out. Oh, yuck. Roosters, 14 errors tonight. Melbourne only had 8.
Fuck, man. That's shit. Bro, what's shocking, that doesn't even surprise me with how they play. That doesn't even surprise me, but it's still shocking.
Now, we should mention as well, obviously, James Tedesco was not available for the Roosters tonight. And look, Joseph Manu is a world-class fullback. Joseph Suaalii is a very handy replacement at fullback. But when you lose Tedesco, you've got to change the way you play. You've got to change the way you attack. Your game plan becomes a lot different when Tedesco isn't there for the Roosters. Now, I know Manu does the job and Suaalii, they both do the job, but losing Tedesco did not help the Roosters out tonight.
Oh, mate. Look, at the end of the day, the Roosters only can really... You can't say one injury is the reason that we lose by 20 points to the Storm. But I will agree with the fact that at the end of the day, Tedesco was a massive loss for them, and I don't think they lose by nearly as much if he's there.
If Tedesco plays tonight, this game is easily 1-12.
Oh, easily. Tedesco... Really, being gone today has really shown how crucial he is. I just hope he doesn't get more head knocks because of teams realizing that.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, right? So last week, we were at the Roosters-Eels game at the Sydney Football Stadium. And
yeah, we were.
When Tedesco went down for a HIA, Suaalii went to fullback because Manu was unavailable last week. And the Roosters looked pretty good. Do you think the Roosters should have had Suaalii at fullback tonight and Joseph Manu in the centres?
Look, I get why they went with Joey Manu, but I do think that Suaalii was worth a shot, especially when it just wasn't working today. I think if I was the Roosters, what I would have done is trained a bit with both. That's what I would have done. And then kind of, whatever's working. If one isn't working, try to do the other. Obviously, at the end of the day, maybe both wouldn't have worked, but it was worth a shot.
What they should have done, right, when it was 22-8, and the Roosters were going nowhere. They should have switched them up. They should have went righto. So Sully, you go to
Absolutely.
fullback, Manu, you go to center, and see if it made any difference at all.
Absolutely. They should. Hey, once you're behind 22, but
Yeah.
when your team opposition has scored 22 and you've only scored like 8, you've got to be trying something special. Hey, doing the simple stuff's not going to work when that shit happens.
Now, I want to mention one player for the Roosters that I think has got to go, bro.
All right, let's
Seriously,
go.
this is just my opinion, and people can disagree with this opinion if they want. This is just my opinion. Drew Hutchison might be the worst fucking center I've ever seen. He is so bad in the centers. My God.
Drew Hutchinson, I don't know what so many people seem to have seen in this guy because I never get impressed when I watch him play. He is so fucking shit a lot of the time, man.
He's a halfback or a hooker. He's not a center.
He's not a center, man. He shouldn't be playing center. It's ridiculous.
Why is Paul Momorossi not getting game time?
Mate,
And why
Paul
is Corey
Momorossi
Allen
being
not getting
robbed.
minutes off the bench?
Mate, Momorossi, hey, Momo, if you want some minutes, come to power, all right, baby? Far
Good
out.
idea.
The fact
Good
that they're not willing to have him, I'll take him. He's better than Wonga.
You know what? We can criticize Jackson Polo for defending terribly on Xavier Coates tonight, but Hutchison's got a lot to do with that. Defensively, it was garbage. I can't believe Justin Olam didn't score a try.
Oh, far out. Far out, man. The defense there was absolutely shit. Hutchison just could not defend. He could not defend today. No, a lot of the Roosters couldn't defend today, but in particular him. And
Get Drew Hutchison out of the team. Next week, the Roosters get back Teddy. God, get Hutchison out of the team. God.
Oh, fuck. He better be out. If he's not out, man, who are the Roosters playing next week? I may tip them unless they're the Tigers.
They play Friday night against the Sharks.
Okay, I'm tipping the Sharkies in that one after this performance. I'm telling you that, especially if Hutchison gets named.
Well, they get Tedesco back and Manu will be in the centres, so...
Look, Teddy will help. I'll go with 1-12 Sharkies right now.
It'll be a good game next week, and I don't think Hutchison will be on the team unless he's on the bench, but... the Roosters will be a lot different next week, bro. Angus Crichton also returns next week as well. So look out for the Roosters next week. They'll be a lot better next week.
Oh, definitely. They'll be a lot better than they were this one. I'll tell you that much.
Tupanui's not far away either, I don't believe. Now, let's talk about the Storm. The
All
Storm
right.
are terrific tonight, bro. Nick Meaney at fullback, bro. I gave him man of the match last week when they beat the Rabbitohs at ANZ Stadium there. And tonight... I thought Nick Meaney was class.
Oh, Nick Meaney. Well, I think he just falls short of a certain other Storm player in being the man of the match. Nick Meaney was absolutely brilliant today. He did everything he needed to and more.
Yeah,
Incredible.
Yeah. I thought Warbrick was a little bit quiet tonight. Remus Smith had some good touches. Olam was good, but didn't get a lot of balls short. I mean, they kept giving the Melbourne Storm kept giving the ball to Olam when he was in a flat position. It was quite weird.
Oh no, Olam didn't have much. He did the best with what he had, but like he didn't get much. It was only short, flat ball to him every time.
They should have just set Justin Olam up for like a set play at the back where he can run a really, really good line.
Absolutely.
I think they did it once or twice, and he almost scored. So they probably should do that more often. Xavier Coates obviously was outstanding, scoring 3 tries.
Yeah.
Munster was out of this world tonight.
Man of the match, Munster for me, man. He was brilliant.
Yeah. Jerome Hughes did a job. Some of the forwards that stood out for me, mate. Christian Welsh, he was outstanding tonight.
Oh, look, you could almost say most Storm players were outstanding tonight, but I got to agree, mate.
Harry Grant from dummy half. Honestly, I think Harry Grant's the best hooker in the game.
Oh no, he is. Even with second place for me, I put Grant just even like he's still like 5 steps ahead of him. For me, he's unbelievable, Harry Grant.
Ali Katoa looked dangerous, bro. What about the tackle from Manu on Katoa? I thought Katoa was going to score for all money.
Oh, That was bloody brilliant. I was literally screaming, Katoa, Katoa. Mate, I was so disappointed. I have Katoa in my fantasy. I was so...
Oh,
But I was like going, yes, yes, points. And then
yeah,
next thing I know, freaking Manu does something we've been expecting the Roosters to do for the whole game, just for that one play, and
yeah.
stops him from scoring. It was
And
brilliant.
then
Yeah.
Josh King was also very good and off the bench. I thought Alex McDonald and Tom Eisenhuth looked really good out there for Melbourne. That was about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Nah. Look, I don't think there's a Melbourne Storm player today that you can really say was shit. I don't think there is a Storm player today, unless you were to go to players that barely got any minutes, really.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, Tarek Sims only played 23 minutes tonight.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like Derek Sims. He didn't really play many minutes, but, like, he wasn't special,
Well, mate, who would your top 3 players on ground be from the game? Obviously, 3-2-1, with one being the man of the match.
Of course. Well, 3, I'm going to go with Xavier Coates. Hat trick, absolutely brilliant today. Number 2, I'll go Nick Meaney. Incredible. And the players that just goes above Meaney, I'm going to go Munster. Munster did everything right today. Brilliant.
I've got the exact same, but just a slight different order. I've got Nick Meaney at 3, third best player on the ground. Xavier Coates at 2, scored, what he scored? 3 tries tonight. And number 1, Munster, man of the match, easily. Munster was class.
By far, mate, Munster was the best man on the field. You can't even question it. If you don't at least have him in the top 2, it's crazy.
I'd be surprised. He was outstanding tonight. Melbourne, they've now won 3 in a row. They're starting to get back in form, Melbourne. I think they're back. And how about this one, TJC? Next Friday night, 8 o'clock at Brookvale. Manly and Melbourne. What a game that'll be.
Far out, mate. Can I go for the ref in that game?
Mate, next Friday night we've got the how about this? Next Friday night we've got the Sharks and Roosters at Cronulla, and then we've got Manly Melbourne at Brookie.
Wow, that's going to be a good one, mate. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a fun time to watch, dude. Two hopefully really epic games.
Next Friday night's going to be massive. Fucking hell. It might be the biggest one of the year. Unreal.
Oh, absolutely. Two massive games. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, TJC, bro. Thanks for coming on the review as always. It's been a good review of the game. And Melbourne, too good for the Roosters tonight.
Yeah, they were just simply too good today, mate. Melbourne just simply the better team today. Roosters, disappointing. Hopefully they can bounce back next week with Teddy back versus the Sharks. But Melbourne, good on you. Absolutely brilliant win coming from a Para supporter.
And Money Munster, absolute class. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching the Thursday Night Football review. Make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube channel of TJC Sports. The link to his channel is in the description box down below. Anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the Cowboys and Dolphins live stream. Go the mighty Cowboys. But anyway, guys, until next time, take care. Have a good night. See you later. Storm 28, Roosters 8.